By and by, Dorothy passed a cornfield with a scarecrow in it. Dorothy was tired, so she sat down on the fence and gazed at the scarecrow. And as she gazed, she saw an amazing thing.
Toto, that scarecrow winked at me. Look, now he's nodding his head.
Suddenly, the scarecrow began to speak.
Good morning, miss.
You can talk.
Of course I can. How are you today?
Fine. How are you?
Well, not so good. I don't like being stuck up on this here pole. Say, you wouldn't mind taking me down, would you? You can lift me easy because I'm stuffed with straw.
Sure. I'll just pick you up and put you down here.
Oh.
There.
Oh, boy, that sure feels good to be off that pole, miss. Say, what is your name?
I'm Dorothy. I'm going to the Emerald City to ask the Wizard of Oz to send me back to Kansas.
Emerald City?
Gosh, don't you know about the wizard?
No, I reckon I don't know anything. You see, my head's stuffed with straw. I don't have any brains. Wish I did, though.
Why don't you come with me, Scarecrow, to the Emerald City? You could ask the wizard for some brains. I'm sure he'll give you some. Besides, I'd like to be your friend.
Say, that's a good idea. Dorothy, I'll be your friend for sure. And maybe get some brains, too. Let's go.
So Dorothy and Toto and the Scarecrow walked down the yellow brick road and on to the wonderful Wizard of Oz. After a while, they left the neat Munchkin farmland and entered a small forest of oak trees. It was a pretty forest with sunlight falling among the tall trees and birds singing in the high branches. Here and there were neat piles of firewood cut by some woodman. Dorothy was enjoying this shady forest when all of a sudden the Scarecrow stopped and pointed.
Look, Dorothy, there's something shining over there behind that big tree.
The Scarecrow walked over to a large oak. Dorothy and Toto followed. Suddenly, the Scarecrow stopped.
Well, I'll be doggone. Looky here.
There, standing stiff in the middle of the woods, was a man made of tin. On the ground nearby was a rusty axe and a can of oil.
Scarecrow? Who is he?
Hey, listen. He's trying to talk.
Oil! Oil!
He wants oil.
He must be so rusty he can't move.
Here's his oil can. I'll put some on his jaw so he can talk. There. Look, he's moving his jaw.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that feels good. Would you mind putting a little oil on my shoulders? Oh, that's great. And the elbows? Oh, wonderful. And the knees. Oh, the knees. Oh, it's been a year since I moved my knees.
A year?
Oh, yes. I got caught in a rainstorm and rusted right up. I couldn't budge.
Now, wait a minute. Who are you?
I'm a woodman. I chopped those piles of firewood you saw.
A tin woodman?
The Wicked Witch started a big thunderstorm right on top of me. And I got so wet and rusty, I couldn't move. That was a year ago. If you hadn't found me, I'd have been there another 10 years maybe.
But you seem okay now, Tin Woodman.
Yes, except for one thing.
What's that?
I don't have a heart. This tin chest of mine is empty. Listen. Hear that? Empty. No heart. Nothing.
As the Tin Woodman told his sad story, tears ran down Tin cheeks, and Dorothy had to wipe them away so his jaw wouldn't rust again.
Poor Tin Woodman. Look, why don't you come with us? We're going to see the Wizard of Oz. He's going to show me the way back to Kansas.
And give me some brains.
Maybe I could ask for a heart.
Sure you can.
Then let's go. Come on, Toto. Let's go.
So Dorothy and her friends walked down the yellow brick road and on to the wonderful Wizard of Oz. As they walked, the forest grew thicker and the shadows darkened.
Gosh, fellas, I don't like this place. It's scary.
Then, somewhere deep in the forest, they heard a low growl.
What was that?
Sounded like an animal.
Yes, a big animal.
Oh,
The growl came from the forest shadows. Suddenly, something moved among the trees.
what's that?
Out of the woods stepped an enormous lion with long, shaggy hair, long, sharp claws, and big teeth. The
Watch
lion walked up to the scarecrow, raised his huge paw, and knocked the straw scarecrow to the ground.
Hey, that wasn't a very nice thing to do.
Then the big lion turned towards little Toto.
No, leave Toto alone.
Dorothy picked Toto up and stood angrily facing the lion.
You big bully, take that.
And Dorothy slapped the lion right on the end of his nose.
How dare you frighten little Toto? You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
The lion put his paw to his nose and began to cry.
I didn't mean to do anything wrong.
You scared Toto, you big coward.
I know I'm a coward. I suppose it's only a big coward like me would scare a little dog.
Well, I'll forgive you, but don't do it again.
Tell me, friend lion, how come you're such a scaredy cat?
You know, I wish I knew. I'm afraid of everything. All the little animals here in the forest think I'm brave because of my loud roar. But if I ever met a really big animal, I'd have to run away. It's so embarrassing to be a coward.
Dear me, that's not right. A lion should be brave.
I know. If I only had some courage. Even a little bit.
I know, Lion. Why don't you come with us to see the Wizard of Oz? He's going to show me the way back to Kansas.
And give me some brains.
And me a heart.
You know, maybe I could ask for some courage.
Sure you can.
Then let's go. Come on, Toto. Let's go.
So Dorothy and her friends walked down the yellow brick road and on to the wonderful Wizard of Oz.